Another long-awaited Mobile Fidelity One Step pressing has arrived on the market, so we thought we would give you our thoughts on the pressing. We're going to cover all the same stuff we usually do with any vinyl review. Really, my name is Russ. That is Lauren. Welcome to our Sunday vinyl video. If this is your first time on the channel, please hit the like and subscribe button because we have a lot more than just vinyl videos on the channel. We've got 4 videos every week, spanning all across every type of music and genre, and reaction videos on the weekend. So the channel's a lot of fun. So if you hit the like and subscribe button. Also, if you drop a comment with any questions that you might have, neither of us are, we don't work for Mobile Fidelity by any means, and we're not any sort of bona fide experts on the brand. But if you have a question, we will do our best to find out what we can for you. Having said that, this particular record came to us in an interesting way because I wasn't sure if it was something we wanted to pick up because I had never heard Bruce Springsteen's debut record before. And when I said to you, hey, MoFi's got a one-step pressing of Greetings from Asbury Park, you know, do you think that's something we would be interested in? What did you say?
I said yes.
Why?
Because that's my favorite Springsteen album.
Right. So I've never heard this record before, and it's your favorite. And then when I asked around to people, a lot of people were like, well, I wonder what a one-step pressing can do for that record because it sounds like crap. Like, that's what a lot of people told me. So I listened to the record via streaming on Tidal, so like the highest end I can think of, and to compare it against what we heard on the record. So what we always start with, and with one-step pressings, it's kind of always the same thing at the beginning, so bear with us. But when we talk about packaging with one-step pressings, it's sleeve and a sleeve and a sleeve and a sleeve.
Yes, it's Yo Dog. You like sleeves?
Ooh, yeah. And I love it. I say this every time, but I like the reverence of, you know, like, it's almost like getting into a vault to get out that pressing, you know. And then with this particular one, we're going to have pictures on the screen, but there's the postcard
the
inlay flap, which I think is kind of unique. I mean, that's not something that would justify the price tag of a one-step pressing, but I still think it's something cool and unique what they did with that one. So we've talked about this in the videos before, but as far as the packaging goes, the impression I get when we're spinning one-step pressings is it's more of a you don't mind it thing. Is that fair?
Sure.
Or like you don't love the packaging, but you don't mind it either?
Right. I mean, I think some of it's very cool, especially if it's an album that I know. I'm like, oh, look what they did. Like, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. I feel like, sometimes I'm just like, just let me get to the record, please.
Yeah. No, which I understand. The most important part of the whole process is the sound quality of the record. And like I said, with this particular album, before I ever even listened to it, the first thing 2 different people told me, one of which is a huge Bruce Springsteen fan, is, oh, well, that album sounds like crap. Not the Mobile Fidelity pressing, just the record in general. And you didn't really have an opinion one way or the other, right? Like, you were just like, that's just my favorite record, though.
Well, I like the music on it, right? And I had primarily streamed it, but I streamed it, not screamed it. But I did at one point in time have an original pressing of it, and it did kind of sound like crap. So I didn't really listen to it that way because I was like, oh, no.
So we took a listen to it, and it was like inside of the first 2 songs, you were like, this is the best anyone's ever going to hear this.
That's true. It is. Yeah.
I loved what I heard, but what's funny for me is this being the first time I heard it, I was like, why does everybody say it sounds like crap? This sounds great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I don't understand why people this song, like there was Mary
Queen of Arkansas.
It sounded like Springsteen was sitting directly in front of us singing that song. So then I went and listened to the highest end streaming that I could, and I was like, oh, this is why people think this record sounds like crap. So I think the sound quality is great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Like, really, really, I was stunned. Like, I almost feel like I like the record more having heard it this way the first time.
That tracks for you, like for you and your ears, knowing what you're looking for. Yeah, for sure.
As far as the price goes, now here's the doozy. This is where you always get into a Mobile Fidelity argument. And people just are like, I would never pay that for a record, or, oh, that seems reasonable. It's $1.25. So you're looking at $124.99. And I even had one of the biggest Bruce Springsteen fans I've ever known of sent me a text after he saw that I had this and said, well, is that worth my $125? So it's not even huge Bruce Springsteen fans are not like, oh, I'm going to go just blindly pay for that, right? So the first thing I said to you before we flipped it to side 2 was, okay, before we hear the rest of this, would you tell people to pay $125 for this?
Yeah, I mean, if you love Bruce Springsteen, absolutely. Yeah, there's definitely value to it, because this being my favorite Springsteen album, I'd never heard it sound so good. And so if you're used to it sounding like crap, then this will definitely make you love something that maybe you just thought was there.
Right. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like I say, hearing it for the first time for myself this way, I was like, well, that record sounds great. You know, and Laura touched on it a little bit. We always end on value, and it's hard with a $125 record to be like, oh yeah, what a deal. You know, buy Grabthar's Hammer. What a savings, you know? But like at the same time, these one-step pressings are limited. You know, I mean, well, this isn't Mobile Fidelity's first rodeo. They understand how, how to make a product that is sought after, right? So for the value of it, coming from a person who had never even heard the LP before and a person who's it's their favorite LP by Springsteen of all time. We are both saying that I think the value is there for 125. Yeah. Because even though I'm long in the tooth and weathered in the vinyl community, and you're fairly new, you know, I have one-step pressings that I bought for $125, $150 that go for $500, $600, $700 now. And people are like, oh, someday I'm going to get that, you know, and it's like they passed on it when it was that price. So for us, we would, and again, we never on this channel go, oh, you should absolutely go buy this right now. But as far as value goes, I think you can say for this pressing that, it's a value at $125.
Yeah, because it's hands down the best you're going to hear this album. And the music on it it deserves to be heard at this quality. So
that's a really good way of putting it, I think, especially for someone like me who had never even heard anything off the record before. Having said that, that is our thoughts on the Mobile Fidelity pressing of Bruce Springsteen's Greetings from Asbury Park. I, for no reason, almost said Darkness on the Edge of Town.
Nope, that's not this.
That's not even this record. But the Mobile Fidelity one-step pressing, as I said at the beginning of the video, we have all sorts of content on the channel that's music related. So please, by all means, leave a comment or drop a like or share this out maybe in vinyl groups, because that helps us grow. But more importantly than anything, leave us your comments. Like if you're stunned, I'd never heard the record before, or if you don't, like I know people that are like, how could that be her favorite? Or if you have anything you want to discuss regarding Bruce Springsteen or Mobile Fidelity or whatever, drop us a comment. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. And as we always say, thank you so much for watching.